Okay, it's going. So, hi, it's me, Nancy, here with Writer Unedited, where I just sit at my writing desk and chat about whatever comes to mind. Nothing fancy, no fancy backgrounds, no fancy makeup. I don't know if you can hear my cat fussing in the background. I'm not sure what his problem is. Moby! What's the matter, Moby? He may just want attention, so we'll ignore him. So what else was I going to say? Sally says no chapeau today. No chapeau today. I wore a tiara last night, which I'll talk about in a minute. So I decided today I would go hatless. Anyway, just chit-chatting. If you miss a live, I do post them on my YouTube channel afterwards. And I'll put a link in the comments for that. What else? Okay, so the big news still is that the pre-order for Royal Kaleva Louise is up and ready, so you can pre-order it on Kindle. It is at a special price of $2.99. It will go up shortly after it releases, probably a week after it releases. And as always, I will be donating a portion of my pre-orders and first week's royalties to an animal rescue organization, or two, you never know. The more books I sell, the more I donate. So, writing update. Well, the copy edits on Louise are done, and they are at my copy editor, the lovely Joyce Lamb, on her desk, well, on her computer. So, I am on to the next project, which is a good news, bad news thing. The good news is that I started Raoul's book, which is the third book in the Royal Kaleva series, and Raoul is, of course, the prince. So, I'm sorry, I just got distracted by a comment from Alex Kelvin, which says, Sally, stay safe and God bless you and your family, which is very nice, but I'm thinking maybe not. Sally, if you know Alex, I apologize. So, the good news, yes, writing Raoul's book. He is the Prince of Kaleva. You've met him in the first two books. Well, okay, you've met him in the first book. You haven't met him in the second book yet because it isn't out yet, but you will see him in the second book. And I've been letting the book percolate for quite a while because, you know me, I need to percolate and trying to get to know the characters better. And so on Sunday, because the sun was actually shining, although it was quite windy, I found a nice sheltered corner of my deck, and I pulled my zero-gravity chair out, and I put on a fleece to stay warm. And I just literally sat in that chair for an hour and a half in the sun. And I'm sure if anyone had seen me, they would think I was sleeping, but I was not. I was working on the book in my head for an hour and a half. And the good news is that I feel I have a pretty good handle on Raoul's inner life now, which is a good thing. I even have something of a handle on the suspense plot, although me and plotting don't go together very well, as you all know. So I have a sort of large concept for the suspense plot. I'm not sure exactly how it will play out yet, unfortunately. I'm still getting to know my heroine, but sometimes I need to start writing to get to know the characters. So I decided just to get started. So I'm about... how many words in? I don't know, 1,600 words into the book. I'm starting with the royal wedding because everybody wants the royal wedding. So I decided that's where I would begin. Or at least right now, that's where I'm beginning. Things could change. You never know. So that's the good news. And that book will be out next year, 2025. The bad news is that as a result of starting Raoul's book, I stopped writing Ben's novella. So Ben is the doctor from the Wager of Hearts series that everybody has asked me for a story for forever, and I just never quite got to writing it. So I thought I would do a Wager of Hearts Kaleva crossover novella, and I was so enthusiastic that I plunged into it too early. I didn't let Ben percolate in my head like I let Raoul, and I got... I don't know, 17,000 words into the novella and realized I don't have a clue what I'm doing. So back to the drawing board on Ben's. And it doesn't mean I won't write it because I will. It just means that I need to think about it a little longer before I go plunging back into it with too much enthusiasm. But I do, and you know, part of the problem was, even though he was a character in the Wager of Hearts series, and you saw him in actually all three books, pretty sure, yeah, he was in all three books. He was a very secondary character, and so he wasn't fully formed in my head, which meant that, you know, I didn't really understand his motivation and what he was looking for in life and all the things you need to know about a character. And I know even less about his love interest, so Ben has to go back to percolating. Sorry about that, guys. So last night, Susan Carlisle and I debuted our Zoom session of Pulling Back the Curtain. And we had so much fun. Sally was there. Sally, I hope you had fun. I know I sure had fun. So we had an audience of about 10 people, which I was thrilled with considering it was our first session. And some of them were fellow writers like Sally, which I loved. It was great to see familiar faces. And Susan and I talked about the Panama Canal. Susan talked about the Kentucky Derby. And the cool thing was, talking about the Panama Canal, and this is why Zoom is so much fun, it turned out that one of our audience members had actually been stationed in Panama when she was in the Army back in the early 1990s. So she told us about her experience there, which was fascinating. And then another person had actually seen the Panama Canal from the land rather than going through it on a ship. And she had been to there's a museum that she had been able to see, and there's a viewing station that you can see when you're on the canal. If you're on the land, you can watch the ships go through. And she also got to visit some of the islands in Lake Gatun, which we were not able to do because we were on a bigger ship. So that's what's fun about Zoom. It's a conversation. And once the official part of the Zoom session was over, we turned off the recording and we all just chit-chatted for a while. And I just had the best time doing that. I love chit-chatting. You know me. So let's see, who else? Patricia's here. Hi, Patricia. Thank you for coming. So good to see you. So what else did we do on Zoom? Oh yeah, we gave away 2 autographed copies of our books, one from me, one from Susan. So you should come next month. And next month it will be on May 7th. And I'll be sending out a newsletter with the date. So will Susan, because this is for our newsletter subscribers exclusively, because we treasure our newsletter subscribers. So, yeah. What else? That's pretty much it for me. I got nothing this week because it was a crazy week last week. Oh, I do have something else. Hold on 2 seconds. I'm back. I completely forgot. We celebrated on Saturday. Well, I didn't really forget. I just forgot to get my pen. Celebrated the successful conclusion of Jersey Romance Writing Month, which actually took place in February, but we always meet in April to celebrate because the weather's better and more people can come, and it's an in-person meeting of New Jersey romance writers, and it's another place where we all get to chat. So again, makes me happy because I love chatting. So everybody who hit 30K, which is the goal of the challenge, 30,000 words in 1 month, got a Jerry Rhino pin. Isn't he cute? Since I run it, I get to pick up the pins, and I always have so much fun doing that. So a little history lesson on Jersey Romance Writing Month. I started it 13 years ago because I was never able to participate in National Novel Writing Month because it was in November when the holidays are hitting and everybody's personally too busy. At least I'm too busy. And the first year, we had a Jerry Rhino pin. Why Jerry Rhino? Because we shortened Jersey Romance Writing Month to Jero Rhino. So Jersey, that's the J, Ro, romance, Rye, writing, month, mo, Jero Rhino. And many people think I thought I was saying Jerry Rhino. So Jerry Rhino became our mascot. And we get cute little Jerry Rhino shaped chocolates that Nicole Duran makes for the group. She's amazing. And this year we got Jerry Rhino pins. The first year, this was the pen that we got, except it was pewter, not gold dipped pewter, but pewter, so it was silver. And this year I found these gold dipped ones, and I was like, oh, cool. So got my Jerry Rhino pen. Yay! And it was such a fun celebration. Again, seeing everybody in person, it's just fun, you know, networking. I say networking, that sounds so businessy. And some of what we discuss is business, of course, because it's a professional organization, the New Jersey Romance Writers. But some of it is, you know, just sharing triumphs and sometimes disappointments, or just commiserating with how hard it is these days, or whatever it is. So it's just nice. It's nice to be with my tribe. Sally's got dancing dogs for me. Thank you, Sally. Fun. Okay, so now I think I have nothing else to say. Anybody have any questions or comments for me? Was anyone else at the Zoom session there are 4 viewers here, so I know there are more people. Just say hi in the comments, please, so I know who you are. I'd just like to know who came. Nope, not gonna do that, huh? Okay then. No questions, no comments. So good to see you guys. So fun. Sorry I really didn't have much to talk about. And again, I apologize about Ben's novel getting put on the back burner yet again. Poor Ben. I just can't seem to get going with him. But I am determined that I will get it done this year. May not be released this year, but I'm going to get it written this year. So I will see you guys next week at Writer Unedited, and hopefully maybe May 7th for Pulling Back the Curtain on Zoom. Take care.